What's up and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about Borderlands 4. Will it save the franchise? Before we jump into it, I want to say thank you all for everyone who voted on my poll. I threw up a poll to see whether or not you guys would rather see this topic or one about Borderlands the movie. Overwhelmingly, you guys would rather hear about Borderlands 4, and honestly, I don't blame you, as the movie has just kind of been a disaster getting going. Behind the scenes, in front of the scenes, and hell, pretty much everywhere you look. But we're not here to talk about that, we're here to talk about Borderlands 4. So, this isn't exactly the easiest question to answer, but before we can even answer that, we've got to ask ourselves this. Is Borderlands fading from relevancy? Wonderlands wasn't exactly what it was hoped to be. Borderlands 3 brought a lot to the table and still fell even further from the tree. It just feels like Borderlands has kind of lost that special feel that it used to have. Don't get me wrong, I'm still getting excited for any new Borderlands properties, including the movie, even though it may sound like I think it's going to be terrible. I actually am looking forward to it. But after the pre-sequel, it just never really felt the same to me. While I know a lot of players have been going back to the older titles lately as they come into the franchise from the later titles like Borderlands 3 or Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, and I'm grateful for that, I just think that Borderlands 3 failed as a whole of being what Borderlands is. Bullets, broken hearts, and triumph. While sure Borderlands 3 does deliver on all three of these things to some extent, none were exactly what we would have wanted. Dedicated loot farming was completely re-implemented, and they killed a character no one asked to be killed. Unlike in Borderlands 2, when Roland bites it, Borderlands 3 seems to go for more of a shock value approach. And I don't think that exactly landed with everyone, not to mention the triumph at the end of the game is just a fart in the wind. I mean, I'm being dead serious. To me, it felt like seeing an asshole get banned off Twitch after he was a known moron. Like, sure, we won, but it was like an expected win. Like, obviously, we're going to end up beating these morons, but it's like, who cares? So yeah, in my opinion, the franchise has almost been in limbo ever since. Sure, Wonderlands did a little damage control. Yeah, I don't know. The story was good, I thought, but it just kind of seemed like it was jerking off Borderlands 2's DLC. You sit there and think about it, there wasn't much original shit going on in that game. It was basically the Tiny Tina DLC from the second game, but with Borderlands 3's engine. Throw in the spells, get rid of grenade mods, and boom, there you go. I mean, it had nice graphics, the maps were beautiful in my opinion. I thought some of the legendaries were cool, but if I'm being honest, I haven't played that game in like a year. Like I was saying, there really wasn't much originality with the game, and what was original about it, I really didn't enjoy. Repetitive, boring, and are any of you still playing this crap? Alright, yeah, me neither. So yeah, the franchise really isn't in a great light right now. While I can't speak on the new tales from the Borderlands game as I haven't played it, I have not heard great things. I heard the characters are pretty unlikable, and it was overall pretty disappointing. Still haven't got to that one yet, but let me know if I'm missing out on anything down in the comments below. I'm currently playing through the first Tales game, so don't spoil that one for me. I'm in the middle of it, and I'm currently loving it. But now that we've talked about the franchise and where it's at today, now we can more properly assess the question. Can Borderlands 4 save the franchise? Now, I don't know if a lot of you are ready to hear my answer to this question, but with where it sits right now, and whatever the movie is going to do to impact the property, even though I don't really see the movie doing much harm, you never really know. No matter what, I see a lot of people turning up to purchase Borderlands 4. They just better have this shit on Steam day one. Don't pull that shit like you did with Wonderlands. I ended up just buying it on Xbox because I dislike the Epic Game Store that much. But like I was saying, with where the property sits right now, with how dead the conversation is about Borderlands, and sure, you got a little bit of rumblings because of the movie, but even the rumblings about the movie aren't that big. I mean, I think they announced the Borderlands movie like half a decade ago, and now it's just barely getting its foot out the door. They're saying it's coming out like next year. I don't hear anyone talking about the new Tales game, and like I asked earlier, are any of you really still playing Wonderlands? I know Borderlands 3's probably even got a bigger community than Wonderlands at this point. It's not that the franchise is dead, but it is truly in a rough spot right now. And with everything I just said taken into account, can Borderlands 4 save the franchise? I don't think so. Even if it brings a lot of us back to the game, even if they answer all of the community cries for the pearls and to produce a good story, I don't know if it'll ever have that feel again. For one, a lot of us who grew up with these games, we have already grown up. Most of us have already experienced our favorite game in the franchise. And that's okay. You gotta realize nothing good lasts forever. Those older games felt intimate and flamboyant in all the right ways. Those of you who have played them know exactly what I'm talking about. In some of the later entries, you just have no real need to explore every nook and cranny of a map because you could just teleport around everywhere. Even vehicles have almost become pointless in the modern landscape of the Borderlands franchise, with certain ideas like that being expected in the later titles by now, or else they'd just be taking steps backwards. And I don't think they should take any steps backwards, except I do. Now, what I'm saying is I don't expect them to change the fast travel system. I don't expect them to take the combat back to like Borderlands 2 levels. There would be no point in that. They'd just be making the game outdated at that point. Obviously, they're going to have to continue to implement on the formula that is Borderlands. But instead of taking a couple steps backwards, how about a Borderlands 2 remastered edition to hype up the next game in the franchise, BL4? Not only do I think this would break gaming news and headlines, but it actually makes a lot of sense. It's not just some crazy fan idea at this point. If you sit here and think about it, given that they did something very similar with a remastered version of Borderlands 1 to hype up the launch of the third game, which piqued a lot of interest and got a lot of eyes back on Borderlands as a property as a whole. Not only would this remaster bring a lot of fans back, I think the interest would be at an all-time high, and it would be the perfect marketing tactic to get everyone excited for the next release. It could also serve as a pillow just in case the launch of Borderlands 4 goes poorly. You have this remastered version of the second game that remains active today as the player base is still strong enough to the point where I could see a lot of players jumping back in for a remaster. I'm obviously talking about Borderlands 2, the Steam version, or even the console versions are still fairly active today. So I know for a fact if you put up a remastered version of it, it would be active all the time. I'm thinking of doing a whole video on the Borderlands 2 remaster topic, so please let me know down in the comments below if that interests you or not. And just to reiterate, I don't think the franchise is dead, but more so just in purgatory. It's just a waiting game. So we wait, and we wait, and we wait for either the death or the new chapter we all want. Either way, I'm along for whatever journey this fucked up crazy universe has in store for me. While I don't think it can save the franchise, I damn sure hope it can. And that's really all I've got for you guys today. I hope you did enjoy this video. If you did, make sure to smash a like on it and subscribe if you guys are new. And no, I don't want the game to fail or the franchise to die. I just think no matter what, we're going to have our complainers. Just like anything in this world, you're always going to have people trying to tell you that you're wrong or that something's terrible. Whether it's your favorite artist, your favorite TV show, your favorite game, a game that hasn't even come out yet, you're always going to have your detractors, which you're never going to have fans without the detractors. So just keep that in mind. That's my advice for you guys today. Don't let what people say gets to you because it really doesn't matter at the end of the day. It's all about the memories and what you're going to remember in the end, man. And let's hope Borderlands 4 is bigger than any game that has come out in the franchise yet because, man, I am itching for some more damn Borderlands. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait just a little bit longer, but like I said, I hope you did enjoy this video. I want you guys to take it easy out there. Stay safe. I'm going to see you all next week. I love you all to death. And with that, I will see you all in the next one.